Jaymike.
Jolter.
And this is Unisport
Uncut.
Episode
48.
48. And Jolter, today we're going to discuss something I've been looking forward to personally. Do boots, does the look matter? I'm asking you.
Should I tell you right now?
Just tell me right now.
I'm not gonna tell you right now. Keep watching, because this is Uncut, where we talk stuff for around about 10 minutes.
Yep, we
have
got
the
it
time,
on the clock.
as always.
Right here.
Okay.
Anyways,
how it goes. let's get it on.
The first subject, we have 3 subjects today. The first subject is, does the look of boots matter to you? How do you feel on the pitch? Does it matter to you if you have a swag-looking pair of boots? Do you want a blackout pair of boots? All that stuff. What do you think?
In a way, yes.
Yes.
I like to look good, on the pitch, as good as I can, because it just makes me feel...
That's the key word.
It makes me feel comfortable, I like to do my hair and all this kind of stuff and have a fresh outfit. But at the end of the day, I don't think I would play any better or worse if I had, let's say, a sick-ass looking pair of boots. If I have a game day and for whatever reason, my favorite colorway is not available that day.
Let's say black.
Let's say this one. Let's say this is my favorite boot of all time.
Yes.
And game day comes, and
you probably
for
wouldn't
whatever
be playing
reason
any worse if you put this on, because
exactly
this is not as good looking.
But then again, I would still prefer, to have my favorite boots on, just to feel and have that vibe.
But that's what I mean. I feel the same way. It's not that I can't play a match in a boot where I don't necessarily prefer the looks, but if I can choose, it just gives that little bit of extra mental edge. If you look down yourself, you see yourself in the reflection in a mirror, or walking past some windows and stuff, thinking, damn, I look fly today. Man, I feel fly today. I mean, for me, playing matches is such a mental thing. I mean, it's a little balance between me being absolutely utterly crap and then being a little less crap. So that's it really matters a lot to me. And for instance, I would really be annoyed having to play in an outlandish boot, radical looking boot like this. Of course, I could still play all right, but there's just something about it. But it's not necessarily just the design for me, because it's also about the how it looks, the silhouette, how bulky it looks. For instance, let me take, what should I take? What should I take? This one. The Puma one. It's not a bad looking boot. We discussed that. The heel is looking rather good. But there's just something about the way the sock blends into the toe box that makes it look a little bulky, especially when I'm wearing it on my feet. And that just means that it's a pretty comfortable boot, but I'm not feeling it 100%, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I feel that I look a little bulky, and if I look a little bulky, I feel a little bulky. It's stupid. I'm a simple man. But
yeah, that I honestly couldn't care less, because I have my favorite boots, and honestly I don't care what they look like, if they look bulky or fast or rapid or whatever, For instance, the Opus,
Yes.
Which we don't have here.
We don't have it.
We have, for example, the Pure Speed. Okay, that's a sexy looking boot.
It is.
But the Opus is pretty low key, non-saying, just a classic pair of boots.
Yes.
The Tiempo is also a very nice boot. Actually, this colorway especially looks pretty fly.
I know.
But I don't care about the silhouette. Only thing I care about is the fit and the performance. But then again, if I can choose a colorway, of course, I'm gonna take the one I like. Everybody, if you have a choice, of course you have 2 boots in front of you. Which one should I take? You make up your mind, because you prefer something.
But then, this is actually, the new Spotlight is a pretty good example. The upper here is pretty nice, it's very comfortable, it's thin, it gives you a lovely touch in the ball. The sole plate is ridiculously nice, but it has the zipper. I mean, I think a lot of people would be put off by the boot having the zipper, simply because of the way it looks and the way it kind of looks on your foot. It's just the point. I don't know.
But of course, I like to look good on the pitch.
Yes.
But it's not a deal breaker for me.
Okay. So the next subject, Jolter, is okay. So you remember when you were a kid and you saw this guy on the other team and he was wearing the freshest, the newest, the most high-end, expensive stuff, and you were just thinking, Jesus Lord, this guy is bound to be a proper baller. How on earth am I gonna, beat this team with this guy in it? And you were wearing your crappy takedowns and whatnot. I mean, there's some sort of psychological thing to other people wearing wicked-looking stuff. Or am I completely wrong?
Okay. I think that also depends on. I know what you mean, and I know that there are those kind of guys who, for example, let's say that when Ronaldo was playing at Man United, I was pretty young back then, and in every team there was that guy who looked exactly like Ronaldo with the cut off socks,
I know.
The wrist tape, and
I know.
and they walk on the pitch like this.
It was probably
and in
you,
most
right?
cases, no, it was definitely not me. And in most cases they sucked. Like they sucked balls because the only thing they tried to do was these step overs like Ronaldo.
I get it.
And it's cool and all, like people look up to, great players like Ronaldo.
I just remember seeing all these, if people, especially, when you're our age, maybe more people have more money to buy whatever they want, depending on, I play in high-end boots, I'm probably not that frightening to play against. But it's more like, when you were like these, maybe between 12 and 18, seeing other kids with say, a Superfly on, man, I would be like, damn, this guy's good. And so does it matter to an extent what boots look like?
I know what you mean. But
on other people's feet.
Yeah, it's in my opinion. I don't really care. Like I don't look at the other team and be like, oh shit, like this guy, he's gonna put me in his pocket in the midfield. But maybe for some people it does. Especially, my first point, which I didn't even get into yet, was that I think it depends on where you live. Like if you live, let's say, in like a let's say a poor area where nobody has the freaking Superfly.
Yes.
And then there is this one guy
with the Superfly.
Yes. Then I think it's like a big shock. But for example, where I'm coming from, back in the days, of course we didn't have boots that were 330 euros when I was playing. Like the absolute ultimatum was like 200 euros for let's say pair of the Superfly maybe back then.
Yeah.
But it was not like the biggest thing ever, because the difference back in those days wasn't that big.
No, I know what you mean.
The teams and players I was playing against, everybody kind of just had boots on, and it was not like.
But
shocking.
My point is more like, would you be more like looking at a player in say a Copa Mundial or a Champo, comparing that to a guy wearing a Superfly? I don't know. It's a question. And for me, I look at people's boots and I, often quickly make up my mind about what kind of player they are. Maybe I'm an idiot, but that's just to me it matters a lot, because it kind of goes to show how much they actually care. You can be a brilliant player and not really care about your boots anyway. So it's a bit of a like, what came first, the hen or the egg? Anyways, it leads me to.
But for that point, I don't really look at boots. I know what you mean, that it's maybe interesting to watch and see if it actually, these boots by position kind of like makes sense.
Yes.
I know that, but what I look at is when the guy touches the ball for the first time. Then you go and give him some love, and then you see what he's made of.
Okay, so the last subject here, we have just over a minute left. So no matter if what you think about how important the looks of the boot is, or how important the looks of the boot on your opponent's feet is, do you think that looks matter when people go out and buy football boots? And now I'm talking like only design, colors, all that stuff. We're gonna get into the last bit when the bell goes. So super quickly, does it matter?
Absolutely yes. I 100% believe that even many of you guys watching this right now, buy boots just because they look cool
Yes.
and you've seen, let's say, Pogba or Ronaldo wearing them.
I think this is where it matters the most, honestly, because you might have like this really, let's say, I would call this a rather ugly looking boot. but I think that, a rather bold looking boot like the Lock and Let Loose Superfly, the Ronaldo boots even, I mean, those are just boots that they look good. The Aces, for instance, they look good on the shelf. Oops. Stop, please.
Stop it, man!
Anyway, they look good on the shelf. I mean, they look kind of fly. That's what people are looking for. And I mean, there's just, to me, it just matters a lot how good it looks. I mean, yeah, okay, it's green, but I mean, the zipper doesn't necessarily look as, should we say, it doesn't really help sell the look of the boot as a sexy looking,
For you.
For me.
Yes. For some people, I believe this is like pretty cool, like zippers. Everybody has zippers nowadays on their pants and,
Yes.
everything. T-shirts,
Yes.
even. Like, times have changed,
I
Jaymike.
know.
No, but it's like, in 2017, I think looks matter a lot. Especially for, the 12 to 18-year-olds.
And the problem is, it shouldn't. I mean, I know what you mean, and it matters to me as well, because what really matters is the performance of the boot. You can take the Replica, and this is why I brought it, because it's not necessarily, yes, I think it looks good, because I'm like an old guy, I like my subtle, clean-looking boots, but it's a lovely football boot, but there's no like orange or shiny sole plate or whatever on it. It just looks really good. And my final point here, going a bit over time, do you think, or how much do you think, the actual brand on the side of the boot matters?
I think that also matters a lot. Of course it matters. And again, I think this goes to, it might have some effect depending on where you live, because in some places Adidas is the shit, In some places everybody's only rocking Nikes,
But it shouldn't be like that.
What is in the ideal world? Maybe not, but it is what it is. That's the culture, and that's how it is,
Yes, I would agree with you.
But I definitely think that looks matter, and not necessarily for me, but I know that for a lot of people it does, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's not. But just keep in mind from my side that you can think a football boot looks cool, but if it doesn't fit you well, if you don't like the general feel of it, if it's too expensive, whatever, don't get it. It's all about, as Jolter said in the beginning, what makes you feel good. So even if a boot is rather ugly, but it makes you feel good, that's probably better for me to recommend than getting a football boot that looks good, but doesn't feel very good.
But if the only thing you want to do is look good, then just buy the best looking
But
one.
my last point, Jolter, I mean, you said looks don't matter to you. Would you want to wear the infamous Joma Fit 100 Lite with the flipping green eagle on the inside?
I'm just gonna say that if that was the best boot I ever put on my feet, and it was the only one available in that colorway, I would put it on.
Shut up, you don't want to wear it. Plus,
I 100%
Plus.
don't want to wear
Plus.
it, but I would.
it's one of the worst boots ever made. I rest my case. Guys, with that said, leave us a note down in the comment section below if looks matter and how much they matter to you. If you're looking at an opponent, or if, how much looks matter when you buy new football boots. It's all going down in the comment section right down below. Also, check out some other cool videos on your screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking right up here. Leave us a thumbs up if you had a good time. If you thought we sucked, you know what to do. Hopefully, it's going to be a thumbs up. And also, spread the word by sharing the video with your bros. And with that said, we're signing off. Cheerio.